Welcome into Tennessee Titans Today. I am Tom Downing. Today's show is a look at some potential free agent targets for Tennessee. We're now past that post-June 1st date. You might see some more players get cut, etc. But it's a great time to look at some available free agents with training camp just around the corner. As it sits right now, Tennessee has about $7.7 million in cap space. You'll see some different numbers on different sites. Treat it as a rough estimate. Know you can always free up more space. Fairly easy when it's all said and done. Now, Tennessee is maxed on roster spots, but you can cut a UDFA and then all of a sudden you're not dealing with that anymore, so that's not a problem there. It would be easy to free up the spots if Tennessee so chooses to do so. So, prediction time. In terms of players you've heard of, not necessarily random guys that no one knows about, will the Titans end up signing any more players? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comment section. We'll go through some targets, but we're going to start with the most notable of the bunch. That is DeAndre Hopkins, who I believe is the top NFL free agent left unsigned, and I think there's a need at the wide receiver spot for the Titans. First, why is he available? And why could Tennessee maybe be a fit at a cost that might be a bit more affordable? The Cardinals initially wanted a second-round pick and more for Hopkins in a trade. No one came close to that. The Cardinals were like, hey, we'll eat some of the salary for you. That didn't get the offers they were looking for. According to Albert Breer, other NFL teams have concerns about how much is left in the tank for DeAndre Hopkins, and even some concerns over, hey, if things go poorly, is he going to be checked in or is he going to check out at that stage? The Titans have done the veteran receiver on his last legs in back-to-back years, Julio Jones, Robert Woods. Neither really went that well, but a free agency pickup of Hopkins, I think, offers less risk involved and can still be a good addition for Tennessee. Because I don't know about you guys, I look at this wide receiver room and I go, don't love that. I'm excited about Treylon Burks this year. I think Kyle Phillips can be a good slot receiver long term, but NWI, Racey McMath, Chris Moore, that does not strike fear into the hearts of any opposing secondary across the NFL. So if you have the chance to add a player of Hopkins' caliber, if you can make the money work, which is not a guarantee, by the way, he probably wants $15 million or more, just like Odell Beckham got, which would not work with the Titans' current salary cap situation, well, you'd feel better about that passing game for Ryan Tannehill, etc. So let's put you in the shoes of new GM Ran Carthon. Would you sign DeAndre Hopkins? It's the pinned comment on today's show, so take advantage of a potential upcoming YouTube ad break here. Head down there and vote. Y for yes, you would, N for no, you would not. Some other free agent targets here on the wide receiver side of things I do want to look at. There's Jarvis Landry, Kenny Golladay, a reunion with Julio Jones, Byron Pringle, and DeMarcus Robinson. We'll break down each of the players, some brief pros and cons here. Landry can play the slot, but this is like the ultimate sign of regression, right? 1,000 yards, 840, 570, 272, fewer games each season. I really would question how much, if anything, is left in the tank for Jarvis Landry. Now, Kenny Golladay could be a fun, high upside pick if you can get back 2019 version, right? 1,000 yards, 11 scores. The Giants paid a ridiculous amount of money for one touchdown catch, but he offers some size that isn't fully present on this team. Julio Jones, meanwhile, look, we mentioned regression for Jarvis Landry. Unfortunately, it's the exact same thing for Julio. He has not been that healthy. He has not been that impactful. He looks like a shell of his former self, which will raise plenty of red flags. Byron Pringle, meanwhile, a wise man once said, once you pop, you can't stop. Well, that was not true for this Pringle. 2021, 500-plus yards. Thought that was the breakout season. Wasn't much of an impact last year for the Chicago Bears. These next two guys are kind of more in that Chris Moore category for me. DeMarcus Robinson, up and down, can get you around 400 yards, and maybe that's what you want if you don't trust your current wide receiver 3s and 4s and McMath and more, with Phillips being the slot, so not really counting him in that area. More names to come, but I do want to keep hearing from you guys in the comment section. Flood it on today's show for me. Name a free agent who you guys want to sign. Drop that player or players in the comment section. Let's talk about some outside linebacker, edge rushing options here. Harold Landry coming back from injury. Big fan of his game. Arden Key, the free agent pickup. Rashad Weaver's under contract, a young player. But edge 4, especially with the injuries, do we trust Zach McLeod? I'm excited about Caleb Murphy. That's a UDFA pickup. There are some notable free agents at the edge rusher spot still unsigned that intrigue me significantly. Yannick Ngakoue, Leonard Floyd, Melvin Ingram, Frank Clark. Those are all veterans who've put up pretty good numbers in recent years, and there's a couple I'm surprised are unsigned. Look, Melvin Ingram, Frank Clark, these dudes are old. These guys don't often sign until training camp because, hey, you know what? It's fine if you don't want to be at training camp in the first place. Leonard Floyd, Bears shopped him. Could not find a trade partner. I am surprised he is unsigned after a 9-sack season. Even if teams think that number is going to regress, it's okay. We'll be fine. Ngakoue, meanwhile, is best as a situational pass rusher, but if he can come in and get you 7 sacks as edge 3, well, that's really valuable if you can pay him, $7.65, whatever it is, $1 million per year. So the edge depth does intrigue me in free agency. We will have more Titans YouTube videos for you here, right here on Tennessee Titans Today. Where else would it be, right? Hit that sub button for free. All the videos here are free. We're never going to charge you stuff. News, rumors, free agency, preseason camp, OTAs, etc. We got you guys covered. Hit that sub button right now. To the offensive line, already a significant overhaul here for Tennessee, where you've got 3, in theory, new starters: Andre Dillard, Peter Skoronski, Daniel Brunskill. Given how bad things have been, I think, the past 2 years for Tennessee, adding more talent certainly should be under consideration. So 3 names here along the offensive line, 2 of which you know quite well. Dalton Risner, we'll get to him. Ben Jones, the center, formerly of the Titans, and Taylor Lewan. Those last 2 names, of course, were cut. Now, Dalton Risner's mostly played left guard in his NFL career, and I think the Titans' plan is to plug Peter Skoronski in there. But Risner did play some center in college. Could you have him get some competition for Aaron Brewer? Or if nobody wants him, that's a hell of a backup along the offensive line. Ben Jones, meanwhile, I thought played well last year before the injuries really got to him. He has not signed anywhere. I don't know if he will sign anywhere, but Ben Jones and Taylor Lewan are still 2 notable free agents. Now, does Lewan want to come be a backup to Andre Dillard? I kind of don't think so. He barely played at all last year, but Lewan at least expressed some interest in maybe going back to Tennessee, so I don't hate that as a potential option if he wants to take the role and the money. Same with Ben Jones, that is much lesser than what they're accustomed to. But when you cut somebody, you don't often bring them back that same year. It's oftentimes hey, we're parting ways, and then we'll bring you back for the old one-day contract retirement. If you could bring back one of them, assuming the numbers are pretty team-friendly, who would it be? BJ for Ben Jones. Don't be weird in the comments. TL for Taylor Lewan. Answer that for me right now. I finally want to look at safety here before we go, and the defensive back a little bit, since Elijah Molden is getting some run at safety. But Kevin Byard, love his game. Monty Hooker, a big fan of him too. I don't love the depth. Josh Thompson, Mike Brown. I don't feel confident in that. So if you wanted to find a safety 3, whether that's Elijah Molden or you sign a veteran free agent, there are some interesting names out there. John Johnson, cut by the Browns a few years after getting a big bag from the leaving the Rams to get the big bag from the Browns, I should say. Adrian Amos and another former Titan, Logan Ryan. I thought Johnson and Amos, tackle-wise, put up impressive numbers last year. I think both these guys, at this stage of their careers, look, when you're unsigned in June, you're not normally going to be a starter. It might be a rotation piece. Maybe you're the 3rd guy on the depth chart. That's what Tennessee's looking for, right? Wouldn't we feel better about that safety room behind Byard, behind Hooker? God forbid injuries happen again, knock on wood, if there was a John Johnson, an Adrian Amos on this roster. Logan Ryan can do some nickel stuff too, so I threw him on there in the Elijah Molden role. But I would like to see Tennessee add an extra safety, not to replace the starters, but to give some extra depth at that spot.
you.